Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande. First nectar devotion, or how do you do? So today we're reading from Nectar Devotion. Chapter 15. Spontaneous devotional service. Examples of spontaneous devotional service can be easily seen in Krishna's direct associates in Vrindavan. The spontaneous dealings of the residents of Vrindavan in relationship with Krishna are called Raganuga. What are they called?
Raganuga.
Correct. Correct. These beings don't have to learn anything about devotional service. They're already perfect in all regulative principles and have achieved the spontaneous loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For example, the cowherd boys who are playing with Krishna do not have to learn by austerities or penances or yogic practice how to play with him. They have passed all tests of regulative principles in their previous lives. And as a result, they're now elevated to the position of direct association with Krishna as his dear friends. Their spontaneous attitude is called Raganuga Bhakti. Sri Rupa Goswami has defined Raganuga Bhakti as spontaneous attraction for something while completely absorbed in touch with an intense desire of love. Devotional service executed with such feelings of spontaneous love is called Raganuga Bhakti. Devotional service under the heading of Raganuga can be further divided into two categories. One category is called sensual attraction, and the other is called relationship. Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 3rd chapter, entitled Rishabh Deva's Appearance, text number 7. Now this is prose, so I'll just chant it. Atanaya pina bhavata ijyayoru bhara bharaya samuchitam artam iha palo bhamahe. Ata. Otherwise. Anaya. This. Api. Even. Na. Not. Bhavataha. Of your exalted personality. Ijaya. By performance of sacrifice. Urubhara bharaya. Encumbered by much paraphernalia. Samuchitam. Required. Artam. Use. Iha. Here. Upalabhamahe. We can see. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We have engaged in your worship with many things and have offered sacrifices unto you. But we think that there is no need for so many arrangements to please your Lordship. Purport. Srila Rupa Goswami says that if one is offered various foods but has no appetite, the offering has no value. In a big sacrificial ceremony, there may be many things accumulated to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if there is no devotion, attachment, or love for the Lord, the arrangement is useless. The Lord is complete in Himself, and He does not need anything from us. However, if we offer Him a little water, a flower, and a tulsi leaf, He will accept them. Bhakti, devotional service, is the main way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not a question of arranging huge sacrifices. The priests were regretful, thinking that they were not on the path of devotional service, and that their sacrifice was not pleasing to the Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Jaya Se Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripadamaham vande Sri Guru Dinatharanam Paramananda Maravam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasandabhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Good morning, everybody. So here we have the priests in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabi praying to Vishnu, who just appeared by His causeless mercy to bestow His darshan and His benediction upon His devotees. And the priests, they were humble. They were actually a little embarrassed. Why? Because the reason for which they performed this sacrifice was to get a son for the king. Now, what is the difficulty to get a son? And you could say, yes, of course, we need the blessing of the Lord, but to make an elaborate sacrifice and a big thing out of it is not really a requirement. So, yet, of course, the king is the most important person from a material point of view. So, they had to perform that function. They had no other choice. And they were embarrassed in different ways. They were embarrassed, first of all, because, as I've mentioned, it's a little unnecessary to make such an elaborate arrangement. Also, they were embarrassed because they felt that their intention was not pure. They felt that we're not really qualified to address the Lord, to worship the Lord, and to please the Lord. Because they knew that the Lord is only pleased by pure devotion. That He's not really interested in all these elaborate sacrifices. So, they're reflecting on this and they're offering prayers in humility, which is very nice and very exemplary for all of us, because we cannot impress Krishna with our great learning, with our great gifts. What do we have? It is very puny, it is very insignificant in comparison to the grandeur of the Lord. Rupa Goswami gives the example that just like if somebody offers you food but you don't have appetite, you just, can't eat. So what's the meaning of food? No meaning, right? No purpose. No, I don't want it, take it. It'll just annoy me. So, in a similar way, if we try to impress, or we try to bribe, or we try to coerce the Lord into giving us things, Krishna is not impressed. Of course, he appreciates, all right, you're coming to me. That's nice. But what is your intention? What is your motive? What is your attitude? Now, of course, the Lord is very kind and he reciprocates. Yeyatamam prapadyante tangstataiva bhajamyaham mamavart manuvartante manushya partha sarvasha. I reward according to the attitude of the person who approaches me. Yet, as priests, they know better. They know better, and so should we. And so should we. So Krishna says in the Gita, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta priyachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmana. Krishna says, if you offer me with love a leaf, a fruit, water, a flower, I'll accept it. I'll take it. He'll even eat the leaf. He'll even eat the flower. If it's offered with love. Just like one time, Krishna went to Vidura's house. And Vidura was so much in ecstasy when Krishna was there, he wanted to offer him something, so he grabbed the banana and he peeled it and he threw away the banana and he offered Krishna the peel. And Krishna ate it because it was offered with love. Now you may say, what is this? Have you ever eaten banana peel? Have you tried? Banana peel sabji. Don't try this, okay? No concoctions. Not very tasty, not very palatable. Perfect packaging. Perfect packaging. But Krishna ate it. Why? Because it was offered with love. For him, he doesn't need anything. He's got, as Advaita Acharya was pointing out, when Lord Chaitanya objected, because Lord Chaitanya had just taken sannyas, and he had somehow been tricked by Nityananda to come to Shantipur. He wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Lord Nityananda sent him in a different direction. He derailed him. And then he ended up in the house of Advaita Acharya, and Advaita Acharya offered him a wide variety of foodstuffs. And he said, this is not suitable for a sannyasi. I can't accept. I can't eat all this. And Advaita Acharya said, oh, we know who you are. You have 16,000 queens who are cooking for you. You have so many gopis who are cooking for you. In Puri, you eat 54 offerings, big buckets of prasad. Have you been to Puri? You have seen, right? Big buckets of prasad. So what is this, what I'm offering you? It is nothing. Nothing. So stop arguing. Sit down and eat. And Lord Chaitanya was defeated by the love of his devotee. So Krishna likes to engage in love fights, in love quarrels with his devotees. And he likes to be defeated. So many people want to become God, but the devotee wants to become more than God. He can control Krishna, but only with pure love. If there is some ulterior motive, it won't work. And Krishna knows our heart because he's right in there. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshir junatishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudani mayaya upadrashtanumantascha bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatmeti chapyokto dehesmin purushat paraha. You know, right? You know these verses. You're all pundits, right? Trivedi, Chaturvedi? Or just... Or just Dhanam Dehi, Rupam Dehi, Dehi Ma Dehi. Gimme, 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 gimme. That's the mantra nowadays, right? Gimme, gimme, gimme. The mantra is Rupi, 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 Rupi. Not Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now, of course, the Lord knows we have different needs. But those are easily fulfilled. It's not a big deal. So Krishna is in the heart. He knows our intention. We cannot bluff him. Rupa Goswami, who we just read about in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, speaking about Raganuga Bhakti or Ragatmika Bhakti. And he's made a beautiful verse on Yabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadya Navritam Anukulyana Krishna Nushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. That pure devotion is defined by being free from karma and gyan. Now we may say, yeah, I'm a devotee. Huh? I'm practicing bhakti, right? Huh? But let's analyze. Are we free from karma and gyan? Huh? Have you ever thought, if I just had a little more money, I could do so much more for Krishna? I mean, I don't want like billions, like these oil guys, I just a little, just a little bit. Have you ever thought like that? If I just had a little bit more money, I could do more for Krishna? One person said yes. 2, 3, 4. Hey, thanks for your honesty. Huh? Huh? How many of you were born in Guyana? For the rest of us, what are we doing here? Huh? What is our motive? What is our intention? It's very important to be in the know, to know your motive. Why? Because motive defines purpose. It defines your reason. What is your reason? It's important to know. Because that's the reason, that's your driving force. Have we ever thought, if that's it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Technical timeout. Tech support on aisle 1. Huh?
We're bringing another speaker.
Okay. Anyway, the katha must go on. So, have we ever thought, if I would just be a little smarter, if I could just memorize some of these verses, some of these stories, some of these things, I could do so much more for Krishna. Have you ever thought like that? If I just be a little smarter? No? Hey, we're back. Hare Krishna. It's a little too loud. And take out the echo. No disco. Okay. We're good. So, but Krishna is not impressed by our great learning. Huh? Krishna is only impressed by pure devotion. Just like Lord Chaitanya, when he's in Navadvip, he was known as Nimai Pandit. Every day he went to the house of Kolavecha Sridhar. You know who Sridhar is? Huh? He was not such a known person because he lived in a little hut, in a little bamboo shack, with some thatched roof with grass leaves. But he had a garden of banana trees. And he lived by selling banana flour, banana root, banana stem, banana flower, bananas. Huh? People didn't know him as Sridhar. People knew him as Kolavecha. You know what Kolavecha means? The banana guy. Huh? Just like you have the coconut guy, the banana guy. You know people by trade, not by their name. So, yet every day, the Lord himself would go to Sridhar's hut and bargain with him for more than an hour about the price of bananas and banana leaves. And Sridhar, you have to know, he was so kind, he was so compassionate that he would only do minimum markup, It's not like nowadays where people exorbitant, whatever they can get away with, No, he would just Because why? Because he did not want to give pain to his customers. He was so considerate. And with whatever he earned, half of it he would use for worshipping Ganges, and with the other half he would live. So you can imagine, he lived very simply. So Nimai Pandit, he said, no, your bananas are too expensive. I'll give you half. I'll pay half the price. You know, in India, you bargain? Do you guys bargain sometimes? All the time, right? So, and Sridhar said, my dear sir, I can't give for half price. It's not possible. Huh? And Nimai said, okay, today I'm not going to pay you anything. And he just grabbed the bananas and stole them and ran away. And Sridhar said, how can you do that? You're a Brahmin. You can't steal. And he just left and just took it. So one day Nimai came and he said, Sridhar, you're a great cheater. You know that? You're a great imposter. You're a real crook. You are pretending to be poor, but actually you're the wealthiest person in the universe. And Sridhar said, me? Wealthy? Look at me. I live in a bamboo hut. I have more holes in my clothes, and not even needle and thread. He just made knots, you know. I don't have any food. Nimai said, you are just pretending to be poor. Very soon I will expose you to the whole world. What kind of a fraud, what kind of an imposter you are. So every day they would have these quarrels. They would have these love fights for over an hour. And Sridhar said, you know, if you don't like my bananas, my product, my price, why don't you go somewhere else? There's so many suppliers. There's so many people who's selling banana. And Nimai said, no. When I have a good supplier, I don't give him up. So I won't give up on you. But your price is way too high. So this was going on. Then when Nimai Pandit sat on the throne of Srivas and manifested his godhood, and he called all the devotees to give them blessings, he called for Sridhar. And he said, Sridhar, take a boon, take a blessing. And Sridhar said, I don't want anything, I'm happy. He said, Sridhar, you're poor. I can give you more wealth than Indra. He said, what? I have bananas. I'm chanting Hare Krishna. He said, Sridhar, look at you. You don't have nothing. He said, no, I'm good. I don't want it. He said, I can give you mystic powers, yogic cities. You know, Anima, Lagima. You know about mystic powers? Should I tell you? You can get anything you want from anywhere. You can read people's minds. You can get people to do things. You can travel wherever you want to go. I'm not going to even tell you more, you know. Otherwise, you will sign up for that program. That's the premium version, okay? For that class, you have to pay. There's a paywall, okay? So, Sridhar said, that's just a distraction. That's just a disturbance. I don't want all that stuff. Nimai said, Sridhar, take something. He said, why are you so agitated? I don't need anything. I'm happy. He said, Sridhar, it's not for you. It's for me. It will make me happy if you take something, okay? So Sridhar said, all right, my lord. If you want me to accept something, there's one thing that I would like to beg from you. Do you want to know what Sridhar begged for? Do you want to know what Sridhar begged for?
Yes.
But your life may change. If you cross this line, you can't go back. Huh? Are you willing to take that risk? Huh? Okay. Sridhar said, my dear Lord, the one blessing that I would like to have is that wherever you appear, in whichever universe, let me be that person who supplies you with bananas, banana leaves, banana flour, and banana root. And Nimai said, Tatastu, you got the job. Huh? That's where it comes from. You got the job. Huh? That was Nimai Pandit. Krishna is the original of everything. Now Sridhar, he was so poor that the only property he had was a broken, beaten up, rusty iron lota that had holes in it. That was his only vessel. That was what he used to drink water. And Nimai would also come and drink from that lota. So that was he used for drinking water, for bathing, for, bathroom, for everything. That was the only thing he had. Sridhar was so poor that when the thieves walked past his hut, they turned their head the other way because it pained them to see Sridhar's poverty. They just couldn't stand it. But because he had pure love, Lord Chaitanya, Nimai Pandit, he was so attracted to his devotion that every day he came to see him and engaged in these love fights with him. Same Shuklambar Das Brahmachari. He was a beggar. He was just going around chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he would do madhukari. You know what madhukari is? Madhukari? Madhu, the honeybee. Yeah, but what kind of begging? Not, oh yeah, let me call my friend and give him the menu, what he should cook for me. No. You go and you knock on 7 doors. And whatever they give, that's it for today. That's madhukari. And you just take a little from every place, not to inconvenience anyone. So what do people give beggars? Rasgulla, rabri, luchi, samosa? No. What do they give beggars? Scraps. Yeah. That means broken rice. You know, what's in the bottom of the barrel? Maybe a little puffed rice, some muri, something like that. So, when he was in Lord Chaitanya's association, Lord Chaitanya was so attracted, so enamored by Shuklambar's devotion that he just thrust his hand into his begging bag and took a handful of that broken rice and he ate it. Have you ever eaten raw rice? Sometimes we eat like half-cooked rice, right? That's a little, Or sometimes they offer you on Dwadasi, they say, this is from Jagannath Puri. And it's like raw rice, They give you some of that and you go, not like it's not so palatable. He ate the whole hand. He put in his hand in the bag. He took another handful. He ate it. He ate everything that was in there. And he said, this is the best prasad that I've ever tasted. So Krishna is not impressed and he's not looking for things. He's interested in our devotion. So the priests were feeling humble. They were feeling deficient because the reason, the cause, the arrangement, it was all kind of puny, But their devotion was attractive for the Lord. Their humility was attractive for the Lord. And as we can see very soon, the Lord will appear personally as King Rishabdev in order to give blessing to his devotee, Maharaj Nabi. So, of course, who can we address when we want something? Krishna is the only resource, he's the only person that we can actually go to. Or who do you want to go to? Who do you want to ask? So, but sometimes we get stuck in our rut that when the curtain opens, what do we tell Krishna? Okay, all right, here, these are my problems. So we put the whole bucket of garbage there. And then this is my shopping list, right? So, but yes, that's one way how to approach Krishna, but it's not the ideal way. The ideal way is to to have pure love, to have pure devotion, to appreciate Krishna, to glorify Krishna. And that will really attract him. And then whatever Krishna arranges, that is his mercy, that is his prasad. Do you know that your income is not your source of maintenance? Do you know that? Your job is not what actually maintains you. Do you understand that? No. That's the problem that we have. We don't understand that. We think, I work, I get paid, I buy things, and that's what maintains me. No, that's not what maintains you. Krishna is the one who maintains you. You may have all the opulences. Have you noticed that if you sometimes make the mistake of checking your messages before you eat, and you get a message that's bad, and it just ruins your appetite? Has this ever happened to you? Huh? So somebody said something, somebody did something, and you're like, man, take it away, I don't want it. I can't eat. Or you check your messages just before going to sleep, and it's something that makes you just wind up. Huh? Have you ever done that? Yeah, so don't do that. Huh? Don't do that. So, you may have all the things in the world, but if you can't appreciate them, it means you have nothing. Did you know that you live in paradise here? Did you know that? No? Because
go to New York.
You want to go to New York, yeah. Yeah, let me tell you a little something about New York. You know? But that's a different class, so that's not the one we're gonna, you know, how to get this, how to get that, how to get green card. No, that's a different movie. So we only see the traffic, the what's lacking, the what other people have more, but we don't understand. We live in paradise. You got all the fruits, all the vegetables, all the opportunities. There is no lack. Why? Because Krishna provides. He provides everyone. Anad bhavati bhutani. Krishna gives everyone their sustenance. To the ants, to the elephants, to the humans, to the fish, to the birds. Everybody has what they need. But what is the human's problem? I need a little more. Yeah? And a little more than that. And a little more than that. And thus, he's roaming around the universe, and there's big roaming charges. It takes a long time, a lot of effort to roam. So don't waste your time. How much do we need? A little bit of food, place to stay, few friends. Is that so difficult to get? You know, they have an index of the most happy people on the planet. You know which country usually comes up on the top? Bangladesh. Have you heard of Bangladesh? Kemon achen? Chup koro, boshe tako. Bangla jani? Shob jani. You may not consider Bangladesh as the most prosperous, the most efficient, the most well-organized country in the world. But somehow Bangladesh comes up on the top of the list. Why? Because somehow a lot of people feel that we have a very good life. We have a very good quality of life because it's, you know, fertile land, a lot of water. And they're content with that. And you know what are some of the most unhappy places on the planet? The so-called developed world, formerly known as first world, where people have huge problems with suicide, with drug addiction, with mental health issues. I feel safer in El Salvador or in Central America or South America or the Caribbean than I feel in New York or anywhere in the United States. Why? Because the gringo, everyone has guns. Everyone has guns. And they all like to use them. Huh? Have you noticed? They just tried to kill the president a few days ago. I mean, the former president. Huh? There is more chance of getting attacked, killed, robbed, sued, poisoned, misdiagnosed, killed in the so-called developed world than in the places that are not so organized and not so together. Did you know historically that most people have been killed by their own governments? Did you know that? They didn't teach you that in history class, right? Yeah? Because we're the good guys, right? We're the good guys. Yeah, right. Yeah, we're the good guys. Did you have history class? No. No, that's off the menu, right? Humanities, for what, right? All you need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So, this Krishna consciousness movement is meant to re-spiritualize humanity, but first we have to educate ourselves. Because if our value structure is messed up, if our vision is missing, then we're not going anywhere. We're just another dog who's chasing its own tail. Have you ever seen a dog run in circles chasing its tail? Looks funny, right? You think like, what's this guy doing? Have you ever seen a dog actually succeed and catch his tail? Never. But of course, here we're in Guyana, right? The dogs are smarter. Do you have dogs who are chasing cars here? No. No. Come on. They must tell them here in Guyana, because Guyanese are smart, you know. I met Guyanese all over the world, you know. They've done well for themselves. They didn't teach their dogs that chasing cars is not... Have you ever seen a dog actually stop a car and succeed in impressing or stopping a car? Have you seen that? Never, ever. So no one has told them that. Like I go to university campuses to distribute Prabhupada's books. And usually, especially in the great country, they're, you know, that one up north that's supposed to protect us, you know? And usually there's someone there standing on some chair or some box, and he's yelling at the kids, you know, about something. Have you seen that scenario? Do they do that in Guyana? People who scream at people, yell at them about some religion or something? Is that popular? Yeah. So I'm always tempted to go and tell that person, my dear sir, I understand you have a very important message, but the way you're trying to communicate it is not really working. Have you ever somebody stop and actually listen to those guys? No, right? People just blank them out, right? They just like the custom official, you know, at the immigration, you know, after immigration is customs. You just don't look at the guy. You just walk past him, right? Like he don't exist. Not like, hey, my friend, you wanna waste another hour of my time? I already wasted an hour at immigration. Would you like to waste another hour of my time? No, you just, why? Because you have vision, you have a goal. But then I catch myself, and because there's only one way how to deal with fanatics. You know what is the way how to deal with fanatics? You don't. That's the way how to deal with fanatics. You don't. You just avoid them. So, we don't have a resource problem. We don't have a food problem. We don't have an economical problem. We have a problem of lack of vision. So Prabhupada came to give us vision. One time they asked him in England, you know, they said, we have religion, we have education, we have culture, we have this, we have that. Why have you come? What's the reason? Prabhupada said, I've come to give you a brain. Another reporter asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what is your, that was in London, what is your idea of hell? And he said, London is hell. The man was a little shocked. And then Prabhupada said, but it is to the great credit of the Britishers that they have created such a big civilization in such a hostile climate. Formerly, the saying was that the sun never sets on the British Empire. But it never shines in London. So summer will be on a Friday. We don't know yet which Friday, but it will be on a Friday. So here, it's nice every day of the year, pretty much, right? You got hot, and you got hot and wet. That's the two choices. And I feel like in Mayapur, because there's a lot of mosquitoes, and, you know, all the other stuff that goes along with it. So, how do we get vision? Dibegyan Hride Prokashito. We get vision from Guru Parampara. We get vision from Shastra. We get vision from the sadhus. You may have all the books. You know, have you done Zoom classes? You do Zoom here in Guyana? Not so much, right? You like the offline experience too much. Yeah. Sometimes you have Zoom class and people have these big libraries behind them. Have you seen a lot of books? And everybody thinks, wow, this guy must be really smart. You know, he got so many books. But you can have all the books in the universe. If you don't read them, you might as well be illiterate. You're living in paradise, but you don't know it. You might as well be living in Mozambique or in Haiti. Have you heard of Haiti? It's the other side of, you know, there's Dominican Republic and Haiti. The island is called Dominicana. I'm not going to go into details. So, Krishna consciousness is not a zip code. It's not a tattoo or a hairstyle or a dress code. It's being conscious of Krishna. And before being Krishna conscious, you have to be conscious. Tato Brahma Jigyasa. Tamasima Jyotirgama. Come out of darkness, come to the light. That means get up early before the sun gets up. Brahma Muhurta. Take your bath, put on clean clothes, and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then what happens? Torajastamo bhava kamalo barayaschaye chetaya tairana vidam sittam sattve prasidati. Pajantyanyanya manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vijnana mukta sangasya jayate. Then you can get out of the modes. Otherwise, Rajas and Tamas, they got you tight. And when you're in the modes, then Durga rules. And what does Durga mean? Durgama. The going becomes very difficult. It's like rush hour traffic. Do you have traffic jams here? Yeah? Well, now they're building highways, they're building infrastructure, right? But I just came from a lot of places which didn't have that infrastructure. And whenever it's raining, everybody jumps in the car. They don't want to take public transport. And then nothing moves because there's no infrastructure. And there's no drainage either, which doesn't help because you got flooding. So, we are here to gain vision, to gain perspective, to gain context. And that is what the Bhagavatam is all about. That's why we have to hear about the prayers of the priests. Sometimes you read Bhagavatam, and then the demigods start praying, and they pray, and they pray, and they pray. How many demigods are there? 33 million. Prayers of the Vedas personified. Okay, how long is this going to take? Wow. Has this ever happened to you? No. You relish every single word, right, of the Bhagavatam. And the mind says, where is the action, man? Give me something new. Are you readers or are you scrollers? If you want vision, study the Bhagavatam. If you want distraction, And going slow, scroll your way through the galaxy. You're not going anywhere, like the dog who is running in circles. You're not going anywhere. Now, you may be a very fancy dog or a very fancy rat, but you're still a rat in the rat race. Huh? Your job, your salary is not the source of your maintenance. Krishna is your maintainer. He's your protector. He's the one who provides. Without him, nothing moves. You know what happened a few days ago? One security company uploaded an update which had some glitch in it. There was some error in one code. And a big amount of computer systems went down. You know the blue screen of death? Airlines went down, hospital went down, supply chains went down. Almost 10,000 flights got canceled. Hundreds of thousands of passengers were stranded for days. Why? One little error in a line of code. Huh? Amala jala jala jinvana talamala. Our position in this world is very fragile. It's like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. How secure is a drop of water on a lotus leaf? Not very secure, right? You got lotus here in the pond or in your, whatever you call it, canal? What do you call it? The trench. We're in the trenches here. So that drop can spill off any moment in any direction. We're here for a very short time. So don't try to make a permanent arrangement in a temporary place. Now, if we're just here for getting a little more paisa, then that's the wrong attitude. But if we're here to expand our vision, if we're here to become more Krishna conscious, to become more close to Krishna, then you're in the right place, wherever you might be. It doesn't matter. Because we're all not from this place. We're all not from this world. We come from a different domain. That's why we have to read the Bhagavatam every day. Otherwise, the only thing you want to know is how much is the US dollar to the Guyanese dollar, how much is the rupee, how much is this, how much is that. And that kind of discussion is meaningless because it's very transient. It's not something you can build on. You may make a few bucks, but there is no value to that on the long run. The first person to die from COVID in Spain was the president of the bank Santander. Have you heard of Santander? It's a big bank, you know, especially in the Latin world. And his daughter said that my father was one of the most powerful people in the country. Everybody would respond to him, from the president to anybody else. He died alone, without breath, and the money stayed at home. So the winner is not the one who's got the most toys in his crib, because all the toys go back on the shelf. Huh? Nirmama, nothing is mine. The winner is the person who learns the art of receiving love from Krishna, bhakti, pure devotion, and who can offer love, bhakti, to Krishna and to all living entities. That is the winner. That person is truly successful. Questions, comments? How long do you normally go?
7:40.
Okay, we got 3 minutes for questions, comments, reflections, discussions, objections.
Objections. I was thinking that most of the time we are under the influence of illusion in the material world. As a result, we take shelter of things that in connection with what you're saying, that for example, Krishna is our maintainer, we are not our maintainer, we are not the breadwinner, but
neither my job nor my boss.
under illusion we are thinking like that. So the question for me is, what approach should we take to, let's say, overcome or get rid of that level of fever of illusion?
The enemy is ignorance. It's not the Venezuelans. It's not this guy, that guy, or the other guy. I mean, you fill in the blanks, you can put there Pakistan, you can put there whoever you want, you know. No. It's not the Russians, not the Americans. The enemy is ignorance. And the antidote is transcendental knowledge. So we have to first accept that gift, that Golokera Premadana, Harinama Sankirtan. We have to accept it and embrace it and value it, cherish it. Otherwise, even though we're surrounded by it, but we think this is ordinary, it's just mechanical. Yeah, I have to go to a program because I live here, you know, can't help it. Gotta be a team player. Okay, all right, you win. But that's not gonna do it. Krishna is not impressed by that. And then, okay, initially things are a little mechanical, but after a while, we learn that there's a reason, there's a meaning, there's a purpose, and actually, there is a person behind everything. There's a person behind everything. Small kid is ignorant, doesn't know where's my food, where's my clothes, where is everything coming from. But after they go to school, at some point you expect them to have a little more vision. Otherwise, if we just walk through the world as big, you know, narcissistic kids, then it gets very, very counterproductive. So educating ourselves and then helping others to become educated. And you can educate them by books, by your own example, by sharing your realizations. You can educate people through prasadam. You can educate people through music, through the arts. Movement is meant to be cultural revolution. What does culture mean? Food, music, arts, poetry, theater, everything. That's culture. But nowadays, we're not interested in culture, right? All we want is economy. All we want is what pays. And that's why we're in this mess. Even though we got all the resources, there's trillions and quazillions, but we don't know what to do with it. It's causing us more harm than good.
A little different point that you're coming here for the second time, you're visiting us here in Guyana.
What is your mission on this visit? What can we expect? What do you intend to offer so that we can, let's say, plug in?
I'm here to meet the devotees and to appreciate them and to also deepen the relationships. And what is my aspiration? That there's a lot of potential. This is a very fertile place that we can actually do something that would be pleasing to Srila Prabhupada, that would be memorable. Because if we're just another guy who made his buck and, you know, maybe had a few kids, it's nothing to write home about. There's no big glory in that. But if you want to do something that's memorable, we have to engage in yajna. Like here, the priests and King Nabi, they all knew, if we want to do something that's of lasting importance, we have to do sacrifice. Just like many are away from your families. Why? It's sacrifice. But if it's just sacrifice for survival, then it's not good enough. But if we do it as yajna to please Krishna, and our intention is to please Krishna with our, whatever we do, pranayartar diyavacha, with our every endeavor, then we will actually get the benefit because it will be devotional service. So right now, I can't say I don't have any expectations because that would be lying, because if you don't have any desire, you're dead. As long as you still have desires, you can live. So for me, this is not just a pit stop between, Trinidad and Suriname, and something that I have to do to tick off a few boxes in order to get where I want to go. But Krishna is present. He is present in every situation, in every place, and in every moment, if we can appreciate Him. So I'm very excited to be here, to meet the team, and to try to be of service. Because I feel you have tremendous potential, you're sitting on a gold mine, but we haven't really assembled and trained and empowered our team to actually mine that gold and to actually do something with it. We're just scratching the surface, We're just finding a couple of nuggets here and there, and we think like, wow, yeah, we're done great, we got 3 or 4 temples, and every little Christian church has got a few dozen or a few hundred churches in Guyana. Like Prabhu was telling me yesterday how they build churches, by going around and soliciting donors and then getting a mortgage and, buying or building a church, and, they go about their activities. So, the way you define success is what defines your success. What is your success? Breakfast, lunch, dinner? Or, paying the bills? Or not getting killed? Or staying on top? Or what is our success? How do we define success? Here you could say that the success would be that the king gets a son. But the priest knew we can do better than that. We have to do better than that. Otherwise, we're way below the mark. Otherwise, if you don't have any yardstick, you have no frame of reference. You don't know, where am I? Am I going anywhere? When they cleaned the Gundicha temple, one Bengali Vaishnav, smart guy, because they're very intelligent, he poured water on Lord Chaitanya's feet. And he drank that water. And he also shared it with someone else. And Lord Chaitanya got a little angry, upset, because it's just not what you do. So he told Swarup Damodar, get your Bengali Vaishnav out of here. So in the purport, Prabhupada says that all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are under the guidance of Swarup Damodar. Are we taking guidance? Do you have a mentor? Do you have a guide? Do you have a guru, Shiksha guru, Diksha guru? Or do we think, me? I'm smart. Why? I ask the students, are you smart or you just have a smartphone? And you know what they say in most countries? Yeah, I have a smartphone. And they show it to me, in order to prove. Like when I was in Colombo, Sri Lanka. If you want to get into the mall, you have to show your smartphone, because that shows you're not just here to steal stuff, or you're not just a beggar, like, I got a smartphone. I'm smart, Now they have these dumb phones also. You know what a dumb phone is? Like these Nokias, these small Nokias, they call it a dumb phone, not a smartphone, a dumb phone. D-U-M-B, dumb. Yeah, because you can't do much stuff with it, right? You can call or you can text, but you can't do fancy stuff. So, and you can use these dumb phones also, to throw them, because they're like 1,200 rupee phones, They're like... Do you know that Nokia was the leader in mobile phones? Do you know that? In each and every single cell phone tower in the world, there is Nokia technology. Because they were the pioneers. They're the one who developed all of this. And then they lost their game. Why? They became a little complacent. They became a little too comfortable, too relaxed. And Android and the other guys, we're not going to mention any brands, they killed it. They wiped them out. They're done as far as phones go. They have very, very insignificant share. So it's about vision, and vision is communicated. It is trained. Whatever we know because we learned from some experts. You don't live long enough to make all the stupid mistakes. So just by the rule of elimination or by trial and error, you won't figure it out. Just like if you have a Western guy trying to cook Indian food, and he's got no clue, he's got no frame of reference. How is he going to pull it off? Just because he bought the right spices in the right shop? It's not going to happen. And same like you have an Indian guy trying to cook Italian, and he puts ajwan on the pizza, you know, or mustard seeds. He may think this is very great, this is very tasty, this is very original. But somebody who knows, they will cringe. So in a similar way, people think that, yeah, I put on a nice shirt and then I'm a respectable person and I'm very pious. But that's not what Krishna sees. Krishna sees our heart. He sees our intention. So that's the message of today. Let us introspect and ask ourselves, why am I here? What's my motivation? What's my intention? And what can I do? Are you upgrading your apps? Feel free to upgrade your intention, your motivation on a daily basis. Because usually when we get up, it's just, I just want to get through the day, you know? Let's just get through the day. But then we start chanting Hare Krishna and hearing the Bhagavatam and we think like, hey, I can do better than that. I can do a little better than that. And I think we all can do a little better than that. So Krishna has given you one of the best places in the world. You're all from good stock. You have got good Sukriti, good Adhikar. But what are we doing with it? Yeah. Otherwise we end up like the guy with a lot of books, but he hasn't read any of them. And just because he's got a few likes and a few subscribers to his home movie channel, he thinks that's the success of existence. But it's not. We are hearing about this because this is memorable. This is important. This is substantial. And this was spoken by whom? By Shukadeva Goswami, a 16-year-old naked boy who came out of the jungle. Why? Because he had realization. You can train a parrot to repeat stuff. I was in San Francisco for 6 years. I talked to a lot of recruiters. They say you can train any person for any technical job in 3 months. That's all it takes, 3 months, to train in a technical job. But character, attitude, that takes a lifetime. That takes decades. So they're recruiting character, they're recruiting attitude, not school, not diploma. Are you a team player? How do you respond under stress? How do you respond when you don't get what you want? That's what they're looking for. So we're not here just to learn a few tricks of how to make more nimbu pani, you know, from few lemons, and how to, you know, put in a little more water and other stuff in order to sell more product and make more profit. No, we're here to learn how to attract Krishna's grace, how to attract Guru's grace. Because ultimately, as Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami said, I'm lame and blind. In the line of these priests who feel deficient, I'm lame and blind, and to traverse this material world is very difficult because this is Durga's kingdom. It's hard to move in the world. Like yesterday, you know, this little hop and skip from Trinidad to here. It's like up and down. But flight got delayed by an hour and a half, and then it was still late, and then more late. If Krishna doesn't want you to move, you don't move. Have you noticed? So, thank you for your kind attention, being part of the team, and we'll be here for a few days to share and to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhaktarinda ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much.
Navina Nirada.